Well, originally in 2001, Ally Parata, who then worked for TWT, and Eleanor Coleman sort of instigated and had the idea of establishing an art centre very similar to the APY land. So that all came about probably 2000, and 2001 in July they opened the doors for business. The past 8 years I've been running the Ceduna Arts and Cultural Centre. 30 years before that I was a potter by trade, so I did that as a full-time professional artist.
My name is Josephine Lennon. I was born in Port Augusta. I grew up in Ceduna and always been in Ceduna all my life.
My name is Elizabeth Ryan. I originally come from Queensland, a little island called Palm Island. I met my partner here, and I live here in Ceduna for nearly about 40 years, and I have 3 children.
My name's Colette Gray. I'm interested in painting. I like painting, like the colours, and like to see different sceneries within the painting, yeah.
Well, they call me Kit Hasseldine, but my real name is Gletus. I was Gletus Coleman years ago, and I married a Hasseldine. I grew up at an Aboriginal mission, Kaniba, many years ago with my parents. I have 5 brothers and 8 sisters.
Growing up everywhere, Bookaby, Kelowna, Yalata, Pam Dement inspired me to do painting. Just walked in, Pam asked me to do some painting, so I done some painting. The first one I done was a crab and snakes. My favourite art is wombat.
My name is Verna Laurie. I was born at Cunaba Lutheran Mission, 35 kilometres west of Ceduna.
My name is Beaver Lennon. I'm from Ceduna. I mainly grew up in Ceduna.
I'm Joy Haynes. I'm a Gugutha Murning woman, and I live at Denobo. My mother was Gladys Coleman.
Well, my first art was bush tucker, and then from bush tucker I went to abstract. And then ever since it's just been both abstract and bush tucker, traditional paintings.
When I first started, I was doing like bush tucker and then like animals.
I first started off with the swirls. That represents the whirlywinds that I do. So yeah, I'm still doing a bit of that now. My favourite piece of artwork would be the wild tomatoes, which we call walgas.
Well, when I do art of the country. I done a painting about Kiniba, where I was born, and the coastal, the sea, and how the boats used to come in years ago.
Well, I used to paint landscape, even when I was at school. But then, when the art centre started, coming up, I started getting into dot painting.
I just like to do my own work with landscape, just painting the country where my grandfather's people from and my grandmother's. So I just go both ways.
Granny Melba, she was a Murning woman, and grandfather Willie Coleman, he was a Gugutha man. So we had a lot of cultural input in the very beginning. That was my first introduction to art, how I used to draw in the sand, all the animal footprints and different things.
I'm Estelle Miller. I'm born and bred in Ceduna. I worked here at the Language Centre for 6 years.
My name is Leonard Miller, also known as Gubby. I'm a local boy. I am a Wirrawong from this area in Ceduna, the far west coast. I have other cultural connections to the Gugutha, Bangala and Adnyamatna peoples.
Language revival has been going on for a while in Ceduna, hasn't it?
Oh, 90s.
In the 90s it started with the Wirrawong language. At the moment we're not teaching any languages. When people are confident and competent enough to speak the language, then we'll look at getting them into schools.
There are people in our community with their language knowledge. Our stage right now is about sitting down one-on-one with them and recording them and capturing their language knowledge. Yeah, so there's lots of benefits here. It's a space which a community can recognise, they can connect with. It's also a resource for the community. So there's a big benefit to have the centre here.
Nyuni Yaru?
Yeah,
Nyuni is you and Yaru is good. So, in a white man's way it'd be, are you good? That's Wirrawong language. It's part of you, it's part of your heritage, and you got to save that. Can't let it go and just let it be. If we didn't know our language, we wouldn't know where we're connected.
We always say language and culture go hand in hand, and one can't exist without the other. And as a Nyanga, as an Aboriginal person, it's very important to have that connection to country. It's about your identity, it's about how you connect with the country, it's about who you are. Languages for us is just that one thing that can help us to stay grounded. Yarawanga. Morba.
It came about with my father, my uncles. They formed an old Gorgeous Club. Members of that committee just sitting around the table having a cup of tea. They was the instigators behind forming the Far West Aboriginal Progress Association. Out of that association, they had to look for a building. They didn't purchase the land and build this building. This building then became the headquarters of the Far West Aboriginal Progress Association. The coordinator of the Progress Association then was the late Bobby Ware. They also needed a coordinator out at Kuniba. That coordinator was the late Bobby Affold. When we look around this place now and look at the Heart Centre, it's a beautiful reminder that the people are sitting here painting different stories. So it was forward thinking that we had back then. And I look around now and, by gee, I tell you what, we did a bloody good job, So I'll come back to this building again. The work that this building have done for this community is far greater than anyone can imagine.